Yeah, yeah, welcome to this session on project cost management. In this session, we will discuss about how costs are managed in a project. Cost management is one of the important aspect of project management. Uh, this is important because the project needs to be delivered uh, within the approved budget. In that case, the project manager or the project team need to take utmost care in delivering the project in that approved budget. When we talk about cost management in projects, there are three things involved in this. One is the cost estimation, and second is budgeting, and third is controlling the cost. And we will discuss each of these aspects in this session. So first one is the cost estimate. So what is it? The cost estimate is the process of forecasting time, resources, and cost of implementing the project deliverable. There are three things here. One is time, second is the resources, and third one is the cost of completing a task or a work packages. So accurate estimation of the cost is very important in the project, so that it is the basis for taking decision in the project. And estimates are also needed to schedule the resources and activities in a project. Costing is the basis for budgeting also, and it is also used for determining whether the project is worth undertaking or worth doing. And project estimate or an accurate project estimate or cost estimate is required to develop the cash flow requirements of the projects in various phases of its development, and it is also required to determine how well the project is processing. In all these cases, we see that an accurate cost estimate is fundamental in the cost management or managing the cost of the project. So we will discuss some basics of the cost estimates. An important aspect of the cost estimate one is the level of accuracy and precision required in the measurement, which means that all the measurement need to be accurate and precise. And second aspect is the unit of measurement. We need to use appropriate unit for measuring a resource or use of that resource. And the third aspect with respect to costing is that the estimation needs to be made by the people or a person familiar with the task or work packages. And it is also important that the estimates should be based on normal condition and efficient methods and normal level of usage. For example, normal condition, for example, if we are estimating the human resource requirement in the project, and we need to consider what is the normal condition. By normal condition we means the usual work hours. Normally it is 8 hours, or sometimes in the projects people work in shifts. There is possibility of one shift or 2 shifts, and these are the efficient ways of doing the things in the and the third aspect is the normal level of the resource use, and that also need to be considered while we measure the costs within the project. And another important aspect with respect to cost estimation is the independence and independence of the work packages. The estimator need to consider the fact that each task is independent of other tasks. This is one of the important. And lastly, we don't allow the or we don't provide any contingencies for measurement while we estimate the resources or time uh, in assessing the cost of work or work packages. And there are two broad approaches for cost estimation, and these are the top-down approach, and the second one is the bottom-up approach. In the top-down approach, normally the senior management or the senior project team take the decision or come out with an estimate based on their experience or available data. And this could be the starting point for taking a decision with respect to the project. And this provides only a rough estimate of the project that will further aid further discussion in the project. And the second approach to project estimation is that bottom-up approach. Bottom-up approach normally is performed by the project team or people involved in the implementation of the project. For example, at the supervisory level, the supervisors could be most appropriate level of measuring the project cost estimate, because the people involved in implementation of the various tasks and activities are more familiar with what are the times and the resources required for completion of the project. And there are various methods for cost estimation based on these two approaches, whether bottom-up approach and top-down approaches. One frequently or commonly used method is the consensus method. Normally this is adopted in the top-down approaches in the estimate. Normally the senior management arrives at the project duration and estimate based on the experience and data available with them. And the second method is the ratio method. In this method, the project management or project team use ratios or surrogates to estimate project time and cost. For example, the cost of construction of a building can be calculated based on per square foot basis, or the construction of a plant can be based on its capacity, or the software development can be the cost of the software development can be estimated based on the complexity of the task involved in that. And the third method is apportion method. This is also an extension of a ratio method, and the top-down cost is arrived first by the senior management or top officials in the project team, and it is then apportioned to various work packages and deliverable. And another method for cost estimation is the template method, and this method is used when the project is similar to the past project, and cost from the past project can be used as a starting point of the new project. For example, construction of a building or similar building can be, the estimate of the similar building can be made based on the experience of constructing or the past activities. And another method used in the project is parametric estimates. And in this process, the project team applied parametric techniques such as cost per square foot or number of man days required for conversion of resources. And in certain cases, it is very uncertain. There are a lot of uncertainty associated with the work packages about time and resources and available for the project. In that case, the project team normally use the range estimate. The project team use three estimates: low, average, and high values associated with them. And another commonly used estimate methods or a cost estimate method is the project phase or a life cycle estimate. Rather than arriving at the cost of the project, the whole cost of the project in the beginning, and the project team go the estimation of the various cost estimation in the various phases or life cycle of the project. And these are all the method normally used or commonly used methods in the cost estimation. The second aspect of the project cost management is budgeting. Budgeting is concerned with the aggregation of the estimated cost of individual activities or work packages to establish a cost baseline. And the budgeting determines the cost baseline against which the project performance is monitored and controlled. There are several tools and techniques that aids the budgeting, that help the budgeting. This include the cost aggregation. That is one of the most commonly used technique for budgeting, cost aggregation. Then second is expert judgment. Then we use reserve analysis, various reserves, for example, contingency reserve or management reserves. And another technique used for budgeting is the funding limit reconciliation. What is the amount of fund required for that project? And we normally draw the inputs from the various documents or project documents for arriving at a budgeting. For example, cost management plan provides various inputs for or estimates with regard to the cost, which can be used, which in turn is used for budgeting. Then a scope baseline, then activity cost estimator, then a project schedule, then a resource calendar, then a resource register, and agreement. And these are all the inputs from which we get the data for budgeting. The output of this process is that we have a cost baseline of the project, and we also have the project funding requirement in various phases of the project, and we will be also able to develop project document updates based on the budgeting. As I said, cost aggregation is a commonly method used for budgeting. This involves we start with the activity estimates, and based on the activity estimates, we arrive at the work package estimates, and then the aggregation of the various work packages that lead to project estimates. Once we arrive at the project estimate, we add the contingency reserves along with the project estimates. The contingency reserves is normally required that to meet the unaccounted allowances in the case of the cost estimates. For example, there could be chance for increasing the 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 cost of materials, for example, cost of materials. In that case, we needed to incorporate those chances or uncertainties in the cost estimates in the form of contingency reserves. Contingent normally project estimates, it is included in the project estimates, so that we will get a cost baseline. We arrive at a cost baseline. Once we arrive at the cost baseline, we add the management reserve to get the cost budget. Management reserve is added because to meet the unforeseen risk or the changes in the project. For example, there will be unexpected delay in the project or any other some risk associated with the implementation of the project. The management reserves actually take care of those contingencies in the project estimation. The second method is that we provide reserves. We create reserves for taking into consideration of the cost to arrive at the cost. For example, contingency reserves and management reserves. Normally, this process is normally called as the reserve analysis. And the third aspect in the cost management is the cost control. Cost control, once the project baseline is established and the project management team use this project baseline as a base for monitoring the cost within the project when the project is implemented. And this provides a means to recognize the variance from the plan in order to take corrective actions and minimize the risk. And there are various methods used in the cost control or controlling the cost. And one of the commonly used method is the earned value method. And the second is the forecasting to complete the performance index, and we use performance reviews, and sometimes the project management software also give us help us to establish the project baseline, and understanding and doing the variance analysis in the project. And similarly, in the case of cost control, the way we draw inputs from various project related documents such as a project cost management plan, project funding requirements, and work performance data. And these documents forms the basis on which the costs are estimated and budget are estimated. And the entire process, the output of the cost control that lead to us to provide a work performance information in the site, real time work performance information. Then it also help us to aid the cost forecast in the projects, and to also accommodate the change requests, and it also help to the project management updates, and also updating the project documents. And why we require the effective cost control in the project? As we see that project management, there are three constraints in the project. one is the scope, project scope, related to project scope. Second is related to time, and third is the quality. All the three constraints need to be managed, and one can't be managed without the others. In that case, this cost, time, and quality becomes an important aspect in the project management. And the change in the one will affect the other also. It is in this context to understand whether the project is under budget, or over budget. An effective cost control will help us to understand these aspects, and an effective cost control also help us to determine whether the uh, project is ahead of the cost or behind the schedule.